Earl Grey. Hot. Be continued. Like and subscribe. What else am I supposed to say? There's something else. I can't remember. He'll tell me. Hello. Good morning. Day two. Or dos. Because I'm supposed to try and learn some Spanish. So, hello to you who's trying to make me learn Spanish. Woke up 3:30. Showered. Hot water. Oh, lovely, lovely, lovely. Enough water in a shower to like get everything done quick, get out of there, and jumped up to come over here and make the coffee. I'm still on East Coast time. Of course, it's only the second morning I'm waking up here. I have the funny feeling, though, my urge to stay up and keep quilting with the last of the quilters in the evening is gonna catch up with me, and one of these days I'm like, hello, it's noon, and the room is full of people, and I'm talking to you. We'll see how that goes, because it gets kind of loud when we're all having fun. Behind me, this way, is the 4-inch strips that I'm going to use to make a Bargello quilt, so you get to see that magic. And this is Bargello done wrong. I decided to impulsively just go ahead, jump steps, and not pay attention to cutting, and not paying attention to seams, and not paying attention to all that. Fortunately, after a lunch and some thought, I decided that it wasn't completely done and over, and I put it together, and I think I have some fabric that I'll be able to do something with. Managed to cut a rectangle, but as you can see, the edge pieces are all sorts of different shapes, but technically it is like nicely 90-degree corners and all that, which it'd be tough to tell from the shapes inside of it, which is sort of a life give you scraps, make a quilt, sort of a theme for today. So one of the other things I'm doing, besides the actual assignment, this 5-day retreat, which is the Bargello quilt, is I'm getting ready to make the second quilt for the second retreat, which is flying geese. Triangle inside of a rectangle. It's pretty cool. You'll see that in a couple of videos. But I'm using some old fabrics to make the front, and the fabric's meaningful to me. I made a quilt for someone, and they're no longer with us, and that quilt reminds me, those fabrics remind me of them. So I'm working on incorporating those into the backing of it, because I think I'll sort of, in tribute of this person, I'm going to make this quilt. So what I did, which may look a little strange now, but you'll probably understand, is all of my little scraps and bits and pieces I'm putting together into blocks just to put on the back. And this is one I did in a slightly more organized fashion. But you can see it's the same materials, just in larger pieces and with more of a plan. This is what I started doing with the scraps, and now I'm just sort of putting them together to, like I said, make fabric out of fabric. And I thought what I could do is, if in case you hadn't already guessed how that works, but maybe not, because it's not as simple as you might think, is I'm going to take a couple of pieces and show you just how I'm putting stuff together, and I'm going to literally get them out of my garbage can. I'm going to work with some of the fabric. Well, either way I point, it works. Yay, good planning. Let's see, what have I got in here? I've got, oh, my bad. Got some yellow. Lots of strings. Some green. Oh, look. Piece from where I cut off to make the lines of that one straight. That'll be perfect. That's already sort of half the work done. No, that piece is too big. That's not fair. That's barely even scrap. Let's have, okay, got a little piece of brown. Strings! So many strings. You're not a quilter if you don't have strings on you. I think also if you have a pet, you know, you can never leave the house without the pet hair. If you're a quilter and you've been anywhere near a project, going to have some strings on you. Alright. Maybe just for giggles. Oh, that dark green isn't really big enough to be a worthy piece. One spool of thread down already. The neutral I made the bobbin of, gone. And I played chicken with the bobbin, so you keep sewing until you're like dangerously close to running out of thread. I didn't do as well as one of the other ladies who had like 4 inches left of bobbin. That's actually pretty impressive. I've gotten close, but never that much because I kind of wimp out and get anxious, as some people in my life would say, and I stop. Come on, you can do it. Oh, yay! Okay. And you can tell it's not a very exacting thing. I just grabbed a piece and tore it off. Okay, so what I've got is I need my scissors. I organized myself before I went to bed. Scissors. Okay. I'm going to sew this to, why not, the green. They're both very skinny pieces. So if I sew the wide end, wider end, neither end is wide, to the skinnier end of the fabric. Show you that in a second once I've got that done. Oh, and I discovered the switch that makes it go from, what's the slow one? The turtle. To, okay, you're seeing me, but not the sewing machine. Ah, no, it's the sewing machine. Okay, well, you'll hear it, because if I turn everything around, then oh, and the chairs have very strong wheels. Okay. Press her foot. Sew to pieces. Okay, so 2 strips together. Nice sides together, because we're just going to fold it open and iron it down the road. Come on. Apparently my fingers don't work very good back at 7 o'clock Eastern time, 4 in the family of 4 here, and in the family of 7 back east. But that's okay. Because I'm also feeling like I need to rush before, like, people come running in, but I don't think they're going to. Even the East Coast people probably aren't going to be out here for another minute or two. I was motivated to come out. I wanted to start the coffee pot. It's a tradition in an organization I belong to that's highly held, and I get a kick out of doing it just because, well, part it's caffeine and part it's something fun to do. The next caffeine addict gets to come in and have coffee ready for them. Seems like a friendly thing. All right. And I also worked in a coffee shop long ago, and I still like making coffee. It's a nurturing thing. Okay, so turtle mode, which is what I was sewing in. It does that when you start it up. It freaked me out the last 2 retreats too. This is actually a rental, really nice sewing machines. They have you rent for a small fee. Okay. Oh, that's the fast bee. That's the bunny rabbit. The sewing machine is literally jumping across the table. Okay, so we're gonna put that back where I want it, and we're gonna do, all right, so now you'll see the slow mode. Great. So, oh goodness, what did I do? Telehealth often end up doing this too. Okay, all right, that's the slow. And in life, medium is frequently the best option. little bit of kick to it, but you're not shaking your table and worrying the sewing machine's going to throw itself off the side. Okay, so that ends with the needle up, which is very handy. Oh, and this actually, I think does this have a setting to keep the needle up when you? Every sewing machine is a little bit different. All right, so I'm going to cut the sides of this off. Try and bring it to a point where it's a sort of a width. Finger press it because I don't feel like getting up and going to the iron. Okay. So I'm going to cut it in 2 pieces because it seems to have a bit of curl to it. Maybe that's while I was talking to you or it was jumping or something. Okay. So my first piece I'm going to start with now is this one. Just 2 little tiny pieces sewn together. And I think I'll sew it to one of my cutoff pieces. This is approximately, I could even give you an accurate amount. Here goes the voice again. Good morning. Good morning from the desert. One little under 1.5 wide. So it's just a trimming. I'm gonna split the difference between 2 pieces to make it a little more interesting. And I'm gonna give that a sew. Foot up, pieces in. Okay, not quite a 1/4 inch seam since I'm working with such small pieces. Okay. Finger press, as they call it. Just run your nail on the fabric. And voila. This way, this way, this way. Okay. See, I'm starting to make another piece of fabric from all the scraps. So when life gives you scraps, we have a theme. All right, I think I'm going to use a bigger piece of brown. It's not the most glamorous color in all of my quilt, but brown is grounding and soothing and all of that. I've probably talked about that. When I moved away from the East Coast long, long ago, I felt totally off kilter. You know, you move to a new environment, you're not used to it yet, you don't know anything about it. I found myself wearing a lot of brown. I'd never worn brown before in my life. And then I started looking in sort of color theory and all of that good stuff. And when I saw brown was grounding, I knew exactly what was going on. I needed something to just settle me. And I think I mentioned before on video, but you'll probably not have seen it. Oops, I think that's my, no, that was an that wasn't an Hi, editor. Did it again. I've talked about my therapy office having a lot of sort of tealy, blue, brown. Green is healing, blue is expression, brown is grounding. So, you know, if you do the right combinations of tans and teals, which I absolutely adore, thus the bag I made is in the room. You know, just makes for I think it's a pretty nurturing environment. I've been living around those colors for my work day for 10 years now in private practice. Anywho, as some people I know would say, I'm going to sew this next piece on with its brown. Also, make sure your fingers are out of the way. That was a lot. I was in my office one day. Oh, phew, I thought it sounded on her. Okay. See, just keeps growing. And the next thing you know, you have, if you're doing it slightly more formally, do you think I'll ever get my right from it? You know, I'm one of those people who has to do this. And as you can tell, the image is reversed. That's why. Anyway, my brain. Neurodivergent, fancy word. I love it. Nobody's brain is the same. Let's face it. Some people are, I hate this word, normaler than others, but maybe I'm biased between my own brain and some of the really neat people I meet. I don't know. I don't know. There is a normal, there may be an average, but the normal, that's a whole different. Oh, I'm starting to think about my statistics class in school. Sorry. Sorry, statistics teachers or math teachers. My apologies. Okay, so I can keep going with this forever in theory and just keep making bigger and bigger. Maybe I'll do that for a couple more minutes. I am up way early and I am way ahead of the newbies that came in. I say that lovingly. We have 6 new people who have never attended a retreat before. Maybe I should get more sleep tomorrow. But oh, it was good sleep. This area is just beautiful with, you know, the Soap Lake and the fact that it's desert. I do like desert. Desert with water. Neat. Look up Central Washington. Euphrasia, Soap Lake. Really cool area. Don't say the word. Just keep humming. Come on, brain. You can do it. You can do it. There's a couple of us that you know, encourage ourselves and move along. Really neat people. Neat brains, neat people. I'm having a great time. People I've never met before but have come to prior retreats. We sort of know the drill, but it's nice getting to know each other. Somebody recognized me from some of Cindy's videos in the past because they film the retreats and I've been in little bits and pieces. And as you can tell, sometimes I act a little goofy when I'm away from my clients and life and business phone and all of that because, well, I just want to kick back and relax so that I can go home better for everybody that's back home and selfishly feel a little better myself. Self-care. Self-care. Teach that the clients do. So mental health and quilting, seriously, hand in hand. You know, paying attention to what you're doing, having a plan, doing colors you enjoy, being around people you enjoy, positive people. Gratitude, I'm practicing gratitude. I've come up with some pretty cool things. One of them being I have the ability to do things like this. Very fortunate. Very fortunate. And I have to try and remember that. Does neat things to the brain. They could see it on scans. It's wild. Like, oh, I love neurology stuff. And scans, you can like prove to people it's real what's going on in your brain. Like, that helps so many, you know, folks think they're crazy and that they're different and there's something wrong with them. No, it's just where we are, right? We can move in any direction. Limitations, sometimes, sure. But being able to make the change, oh, so might be tough to make a quilt, right? But you read the pattern, talk to people who know how to do it, and next thing you know, you've got a beautiful work of art, which essentially I think people are.